everybody.
Just start off with your film review, and then we'll move on to the upcoming trips.
It wasn't any better the third time than it was the first. No, I think that it's a great opportunity to learn from mistakes, and sometimes you have to look a gift in the right in the face and know we got one. We did some really good things defensively in the first half. That was positive. We did some good things offensively. The things that got a little magnified were the obvious, really obvious turnovers. Just letting guys take our ball and lack of execution. Anytime you're plus 30 on the glass, that's a really, really good thing. We had the highest offensive rebounding efficiency in the country last night. We got 54% of our misses back. Alan Griffin was outstanding in that area. Kofi was tremendous. Obviously, a presence with the double-double. One of the things that's very challenging playing a style like that, which I played for a lot of years, is you negate post play. And I'll never forget a game against Texas. They had McDonald's All-American in the middle, and he scored two. It makes it really, really hard to enter the ball to the post and can negate post play. They did a lot of that last night. They bothered us. They knocked us off our spots. Our execution wasn't very, very, very good offensively, especially late. And again, we found a way. I'm really proud of Trent. 0 for 9, and then to step up and set a great screen. It was a great call. And step up and make 2 free throws. And then we handled the last coverage correctly. And Trent made a great stop, and the young man turned it over. So back in the overtime, we got back to doing our assignments. And we're an assignment-based team on the defensive end, and we handle those things much, much better than we did for 15 minutes in the second half. And that's what we got to grow from and understand we made mistakes. We escaped. But we can't do that as we head into life on the road.
Is it mostly playing the high post that keeps Georgie off the glass?
No, I mean, Georgie had pretty decent nights on the glass. You got to go, and I thought that if anything, I think the one thing that rebounding is not about a one-time effort. It's about a second, third effort, and. But he was pretty consistent, and I think that he's still finding his way a little bit out there in terms of how to get to the offensive glass. But again, he wasn't normal.
Is he dealing with confidence or overthinking or anything like that when he's out there in a new role? Anything like that?
No, I thought he was really good. I mean, I think he's figured out that there's. Last night they put a 6'5" guy on him, and that guy's basically a guard, and he took his ball one time, but G's pretty comfortable out there. I mean, I think it was stepping out, making a couple threes, and I told him the other day, I said, you've shot 1 million of them this summer. You got to let it go. I'm not going to tell you not to shoot them. You've practiced enough, and you're a high IQ guy, and make those right decisions, and his confidence is such that he made those shots. So, I was more alarmed by their ability to just take us out of everything. We saw that against South Carolina, and we got the ball where we wanted it. We got the ball to Kofi. We got the ball to Georgie in the paint. And again, give them credit. We were not very dialed in offensively.
I think it would have been more alarming had you guys not built up a 20-point lead, which is kind of a 5-6 point ball game, versus letting them climb back with that big run with the balance.
Well, that was the positive. We built a 20-point lead and had opportunities, and we go 3 of 10 or whatever from the free throw line with Georgie and Kofi, and those guys are both better free throw shooters than that, and had a chance to on many occasions to kind of blow that thing open, and yet that lapse happened, and that's real, and it's something we're going to sit here and watch and identify, and we've got to learn from it. And those when you escape, right? And I say escape with a win, and make those mistakes, it's something that we have to correct, and that's our job, is to help us correct that. We'll start working on that today.
What's Grand Canyon going to look like Friday night, and how much?
I watched their game. I watched your game last night. They ran into a buzzsaw last night against a team that just had 5 guys who shot the cover off of it from 3. Their center had 5 threes. That's something we're obviously not going to have. The Johnson kids, an elite scorer. They've got a center that is projected as a pro that can step out. He's a 39% career 3-point shooter. They put him in a lot of action, as well as being a very good post player. So the Brown kid had a great exhibition game, had 19 and 1/2. So they've got explosive wings and a big who can score, and they're a talented team in an incredible environment. I turned the volume down last night. It sounded like watching a EuroLeague game with all the horns and all the noise and commotion. It's something we're going to have to be prepared for.
What's the impetus for leaving 2 days early
Travel.
instead of tomorrow?
Travel. Just simply travel. We're practicing here, guys in school, and we got an opportunity to get in there tonight and try to get a decent night's rest, and after playing in a quick turn, and we're trying to maximize rest the best we can.
You mentioned the environment of Grand Canyon. Is there a way to simulate that before you head out, or what's the?
Well, there'll be some noise in the practice gym today, and it you can't let that bother you. You have to learn to communicate, and you have to talk and play through that, and that's something that creates emotion, and they really get that going when they get going in transition, and the team last night did an unbelievable job of every time there was a moment or two or a 2-basket run, they scored, and you got to manage those moments.
You mentioned last night not playing as much of maybe your traditional defense. What kind of precipitated that decision for you?
I think we've got length. We've got we've got guys that we feel can funnel guys into Kofi, into our bigs, and he impacts a lot of balls. He got away from that for a stretch last night, but I think just maybe we're still pressuring, we're still trying to. We were pretty active the first half. We forced a good amount of turnovers, and then the second half again we just got really passive, guarding the ball, and that's something we're not trying to do. We're trying not to get beat as much off the ball as we have in the past, and still stay in a pretty aggressive mode.
They were too distraught and buying too much into the game. Is that something because they've been through it? They know that one game doesn't define things. Do you want them to look at it a little more critically?
Well, I think that's our job as coaches. I think it's our job to correct mistakes. And help them identify it. I want them to understand, that it's winning and losing, and had that gone the other way, that's a little different feeling, and they're not saying it. And yet, you look back over the course of the 30-game season, and people aren't going to remember, Nicholls State in the first game, but they're just going to see it as a W. It's our job to game by game correct mistakes, and we'll identify those and bring those to their attention. A slew of them up already watching film, so we'll help coach them through that.
With it being a multi-game trip, how will you approach practicing while you're out there?
Yeah, we'll go tomorrow in Phoenix, and then same game day shoot around. Excuse me. And then we travel to Tucson, and we'll practice in their facility. It's a quick prep. You get a little more game prep on a one-day turn than you do. It becomes more about your principles. but it'll be more about Arizona on Saturday than anything that we'll use our time basically on them and preparing our game plan for them instead of working on some of the basic things that we need to work on.
Kind of resembles an NCAA tournament weekend, whereas you're traveling and then you're playing a game on Friday, day of rest, and you're playing a game on Sunday. Just talk a little bit about the mindset of that with some of these new guys.
Well, I think every year you try to challenge your team in the non-league, whether it was, it's a back-to-back, type deal, which you face in a conference tournament, or it's a day, play one day, have a day off, play the next day, an NCAA postseason tournament vibe. You try to challenge your team to understand that what those challenges are, how you mentally have to prepare. You try to do those things in November so that when you see them in March, late in the year, that you're accustomed to those quick turns. We don't see that a lot in league play. Other than our first year, which like every other game was a one-day turn, but now we're going to experience something for the first time, and hopefully in April or March or April, it's something that we say, hey, we've handled that. Remember how?
April.
Yeah.
A few lessons from Maui last year for guys who experienced that, translate to this.
Yeah, I mean, some. I think it's new team, new faces, new identity. I think the experience of going on the road. I think I liken this trip more to Big Ten play, and those experiences of hostile crowds instead of neutral sites, and I think it's more that type of atmosphere than maybe a mountain trip.
Last season, Andres was maybe that guy off the bench that was the spark that you look for. I mean, arguably he's been your best player. What kind of tweaks were you looking for? Just getting more production.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's a comfort. I think everybody's got to earn their roles and find out what their roles are. And I think the one thing that I always felt comfortable with last year with Dre coming off the bench was that stabilizing force, knowing that there wasn't going to be any slippage, the right plays were going to be made. How that projects here, we'll see. Moving forward, I mean, nothing's definitive yet in terms of what we're trying to do. We're still looking, exploring. I've got to find ways to get DeMonte on the court more. DeMonte's passing, we missed a lot last night. Looking back, I would have played him, should have played him more. He's a guy that shares the ball and passes it, and makes the right reads. But we're still working on those things, and I'm still trying to feel out, he and Allen off the bench, and growing Ben into those minutes as well as with Kipper, Jermaine. Jermaine's been sick, the reason he didn't play last night. So, it was still feeling through some of that stuff.
What are you hoping for that team?
Well, I hope, again, we're trying to establish our identity. I thought we were making pretty good strides until that late game run last night in terms of being a team that's very hard to score against, a great rebounding team, a team that is going to take some pride in executing at the offensive end. And, we made some strides in those areas, and yet, there was a little lapse in that performance. So it's about getting back to who we are.
In that last 5-minute stretch in the second half, is there anything about handling adversity maybe you didn't like or need to grow from?
Oh, I think there's a lot of things. I think anytime adversity hits you in the face, I say it's one of the great challenges with high school guys coming to college, is it's the first time in their life they've faced adversity. They face stress, and they find out what it's like to, not be able to get touches if you're a post player because the defense does this, and how do you handle that? You let it handle. There's one possession in particular that sticks out, and it's I go back to our culture, our identity. We get a steal. Dre comes down, drops a bounce pass behind for Io. You should have seen our team run. And if you'll recall, they came right back at the other end and got an uncontested layup at the other end because jog back on defense. And that's the identity piece that we're trying to get rid of. Well, it's game-winning time. They all wanted to score, and we all ran. And yet, that adversity is, okay, they put their head down because they didn't get it. We scored, whatever they think, whatever that situation is. And that's where we've got to toughen up. And I thought Trent, Dre, I thought were exceptional. I thought that, handling the last play was a sign that we've grown up, because we've talked about, hey, we've got to be. We knew what was coming. They'd run it most of the second half, and we've blown the coverage, and we handled it right. And that's maybe a sign we've grown through some adversity. And I'm not sure, to be quite honest, Trent makes those free throws in his first 2 years. Maybe he's a junior or senior, he makes all those, and that was handling adversity the right way.
Major free throws late. Before that, not nearly as much. Maybe the second straight game. Is that still too early to be a concern, or how do you?
Free throw shooting is always a concern. We're getting there. We flipped that script from last year. We're not putting teams there as much, which is another part of maybe not being the way we were defensively in the past. Now we're getting there. But, I'm still convinced Georgie and Kofi are going to be, and we know Io's been a really good free throw shooter. And those guys are missing too many, and those are the guys that get there a lot. We're challenging them to get there a lot. The good thing is we got 2 offensive rebounds off those, so we're staying active there. But, we had it's a little momentum play. We got a steal, and Dre got fouled, and Dre's a great free throw shooter. This is the front end of a 1-on-1, and Ben commits a foul going for a rebound. Little swings like that are very, very big. Where an easy 2 points turns into a missed front end, and those are the little things that we've got to really toughen up on and get dialed into the importance of those plays.
Discuss your guard needing to rebound. I mean, what's been the jump from talking about a lot to those guys?
Just demanding it. We demand it every day in practice. Coach Coleman, every day in practice, his job is those guys rebound. And, it's guys going offensively, as well as making sure they're blocking out defensively. We've tried to relay how important it is to run offensively. The last defensive assignment is rebound. And when guards rebound, we can get that break started quicker. And you saw last night, we have 5 layups in transition just off rebounds, where we got it all the way to the rim. And those are important. Dre obviously has a huge night. He's a great rebounding guard, and those lead to easy opportunities. So we've emphasized that a lot.
Thanks, Brett.
Thanks, guys.